I wrote Security, which is a 3-act tragedy based on the Enron scandal, and it was produced at Carleton College in Norse Little Theater, which is actually the same place that the Caucasian Chalk Circle by Bertolt Brecht was first produced.
Ye powers and spirits of this nethermost abyss, chaos and ancient night, I come no spy, with purpose to explore or to disturb the secrets of your realm, but by constraint, wandering this darksome desert.
You have such a dog-eat-dog, ultra-capitalist economy, and you have zero checks and balances, so eventually you're going to get a guy who's like, well, I can game the system, like no one's stopping me.
You have a fixed income through a forward market that's already tipped in your favor. You absolutely can't lose. You mean to say I'm Mercer?
The Enron story is just like really melodramatic, and I figured it would work best as a tragedy. And that's why I wrote it as a play as opposed to a short story, because a short story wouldn't allow for the dizzying heights and terrifying lows.
They're worth what they're worth just because I own them. I sell them for what I want. 60 million? 100 million?
So our investments guide the market?
Yes, exactly. If you know which way the wind's blowing, you can sell futures contracts to these people for a price you set.
Security is a play about Jeff Biltman, who is a charming young sociopath, recent Harvard Business School grad, who makes a home for himself on Wall Street. He is very ambitious and suffers from a degenerative eye condition that results in his eventual blindness.
You think I've done something wrong here?
I don't think any.
Because I am going to try to save the shareholders and John Doe, the Mercer alignment, and all the assholes who were stupid enough to invest their 401ks in this company.
I think the reason Jeff Biltman is a scary character for me is because he is a solipsist. And like most solipsists, he lives in a world of his own creation. There's a sort of totalitarian aspect to his, the way he chooses to be in the world. He imagines a certain state of affairs, and he just does everything he can to make that the reality. And he has absolutely no interest in the experiences and impressions of other human beings. He just doesn't. And everyone falls in love with him, except for the whistleblower character, Ann Dyer. She's like the Erin Brockovich of the play because she is skeptical from the beginning.
Calcutta stuff. There are 2 sets of numbers here. Unbelievable. Jeff forged this?
I guess he did.
This is our Pioneer account. This is supposed to be the reason we're worth billions.
Merceron's fast out is a guy named Isaac Rivkin, and he's a very religious Jew. And he makes a Faustian bargain. He sort of sells his soul to Jeffrey Biltman in order to win back his erstwhile girlfriend, Evie.
God must hate us, right, Rivkin?
God hates you! Hiding all the time! Don't take me home!
If we don't become cognizant of the fact that we're sharing this political space with other human beings, other real human beings, then there's no way we're going to be able to check ourselves. And we can end up making the kind of mistakes that Jeff Biltman makes, and they can have just as severe, if not worse, ramifications.
A faulty empire worth billions on nothing more than lies to their accounting firm. While analysts valued the Merceron Corporation at over $6 billion, its top executives had in fact managed to rack up a secret $1 billion in debt. Investors and employees alike lost their entire life savings in Merceron's collapse.
If you're really using Carleton, and if you're working with Carleton, you cannot leave this school the same way you came. You absolutely can't leave this place unchanged.